He was already there when we set camp on that beach last summer. He had been abandoned in the beginning of the season. He considered the beach his home, and the tourists and their pets who would come and go were his pack. He looked so lonely and so gorgeous, sitting alone in front of the sea, gazing at the big blue in front of him. You could see that he needed to belong, to be part of us, but at the same time he felt like he wasn't allowed to. So he would spend endless hours on his own, just sitting there, always near us, but never too close. Those lonely dogs of the endless Greek summer, the ones we see every day on the beach, playing with the waves, discreetly asking for a place to belong, at least for a couple of hours, are the ones who were abandoned there by families who considered them too much of a burden during their 15-day vacation, or simply ended up on the beach because they needed to be around people. And that is where people are in the summer. They look like they belong there. They look free, happy. Who doesn't look free and happy on the beach? Unless you have visited touristic places in wintertime, you can't fully comprehend the loneliness, the emptiness and the sadness that fall over them like a thick, heavy cloud. After the beach bars are closed and the few restaurants in the village that work during winter move their tables indoors, the dog you fed, petted and photographed is bound to starve. Most summer dogs are young animals, and this is their first and last summer. Rural Greece gets them one way or the other. It's ruthless, and it's dangerous, and it's unfair. We spent 10 days with him. Every morning he would discreetly wake us up, waiting for our walk by the beach. He was free on that beach 24/7, and yet he longed for our morning and evening walks. He longed to feel that he belonged, even for a couple of hours, to feel that he was a member of us, a friend, that he was not alone. They say that knowledge is power, but for a rescuer, knowledge is pain. The pain of knowing that dogs like him don't live to see another summer. The pain of knowing that your vacation friend will have no one to care for him after you're gone. I couldn't do that to him. I just couldn't betray him like that. So Luke came back to Athens with us. And as he was looking back from the window at his lovely beach that he called home, I promised to do everything I could to never have him look back ever again. So there came the visits to the vet and the tests and the training and the dog hotel. Lou's life changed, and I often wondered if he missed his beach. It took less than a week for him to be leash-trained and house-trained, and for me to realize that he was never a loner, like he seemed to be. He was a people's dog who finally had a chance to feel that he belonged. The promises we make to those dogs we rescue from the streets are promises we never know if we will be able to keep. But when you receive the email that will change their lives forever, you can't help but scream, "I knew it. I knew I wouldn't disappoint you. There was a family waiting for you, and I knew I would help you find it." And I do believe that. I believe that all dogs cross my path because I can help them get to where they belong. The last days of fostering a dog before it gets to its forever home are the most emotional and the most enjoyable of all. You can finally let go. You can finally let all emotions overwhelm you, and you can't have enough of that dog. That dog that you adored and that you saw at his best and at his worst. That dog that was never yours. You were just keeping him healthy and happy for the family he really belonged to. The morning before we left for the airport, I took him to a beach again. I thought he would love it, but he didn't really. He just liked it, like he liked the dog park and the mountain and my apartment. Dogs don't belong in places. They belong with people, no matter where the people are. A few hours later, he flew for his forever home in Vienna, Austria. away from the beaches and the big blue and that picturesque loneliness he knew as home. But home is never about loneliness. Home is about warm rugs and juicy treats. Home is about friends, forever friends that you sleep with and play with and cuddle up against. Home is about lazy afternoons in bed, about green gardens and Christmas ornaments. Home is about funny everyday moments that only the ones who love you dearly can appreciate for what they are. Home is about running free, knowing that you will end up in someone's hug, about snow, yogurt, and selfies. Home is where you are constantly photographed because every silly thing that you do is a valuable moment that someone who loves you wants to keep forever. This was Lou's story. I wish I could say it's the story of every abandoned dog like him, but it isn't. It's summer again, and our beaches and resorts and fishing villages by the sea will be packed with dogs like him. This will be their first and last summer. And summers don't last forever, no matter how much we want them to. The winter always comes, and it comes with hunger and isolation and death. If you meet and love one of those lonely dogs, take them with you when you leave. They might not look that much in need while you are there, but trust me, they will be once you're gone.